Welcome back. Well, tomorrow we head to the polls, so to help you decide, we are joined tonight by some young political activists. To the left, we have Timothy Webber from Australian Young Labor. And to the right, we have Shaun Bourke from Young Liberals. Now, to explain how this will work, Timothy is joined by Jacqueline to help present Labor's arguments.
Sorry, mate. It's fine.
And Shaun is joined by Anthony to help present Liberal policies.
I think we've got this one. Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's going to go bad. Well, let's get it started. First of all, so Timothy, Labor, you've got about 18 hours to scare people into voting for you. What is your next scare campaign going to be to get those last few votes?
Malcolm Turnbull could continue to be Prime Minister in 2 days' time.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Jack,
he's going to wear a weird hat.
Absolutely
like
terrifying.
Weird.
Is that something that scares you, that Malcolm Turnbull being the leader of your party?
Oh, I think what scares me is more years of debt under Labor. I think that's what scares everyone, you know. Got to think of the future kids, future generations, and just more debt under Labor.
Does that keep you up at night, Anthony? Debt under Labor?
Oh, well, it does. Absolutely. Malcolm Turnbull is the only thing that puts me to sleep.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
It's got us there.
Speaking of debt under Labor, now you claim that Labor has a $67 billion black hole in their budget. How is that correct? Is that a correct number?
Yes, I believe so. The numbers really don't matter. I mean, we're talking about.
Don't numbers matter?
Well, the numbers matter to an extent, but I mean, it's all budget preparations are going to be changing once they get elected. They're going to change what they want to do. They're going to change how they're going to govern. But we all know how Labor govern, and it's just spend, and we're not going to be living within our means under a Liberal government under Turnbull. So that's what we need.
I thought we were getting rid of the Joe Hockey lines. Didn't we send him to America in exile? Didn't you send him to America in exile? I thought we'd gotten rid of that.
We like strong Liberal values in the Liberal Party.
Do you?
Yes.
I thought we got rid of that with Tony Abbott. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you've got a $35 billion black hole in your budget.
I don't think so.
Excuse me.
I don't think so. I think what we do have is 100 positive policies.
You've got 100
We have 100 positive
We
policies.
have heard, though, the numbers don't matter, but that number matters.
We have 100 positive policies, and a marriage equality plebiscite ain't one.
That's the first one.
This is
Good work.
Thank you.
Well
Can I get a high five?
You're
I
getting
can.
a
Well, I want to ask you more about those policies. One of your policies is lower admissions for Questacon. Is that a core promise?
I actually hadn't heard that, but that's fantastic.
You're not familiar with your own party's policies?
Some of the best minutes of my life have been spent in Questacon, and I want to give that opportunity to all Australians. Yeah.
Well, there you heard it. Are you excited to go to Questacon?
I love science.
Well, then you shouldn't sign up to the Liberal Party. Well, we have to talk a bit more about this plebiscite. Liberals, what's going to happen when the Australian population comes back and says that they want same-sex marriage?
Well, I think the Australian public is going to say they want same-sex marriage, and it's just we live in a democracy, don't we? We live in a democracy. We want to hear what the people think.
It's allowing people to actually say what they think.
It's just, we live in a democracy, allow the people to decide. People say yes, go straight through. In the words of Malcolm Turnbull, sails through the Senate. I see no issue.
Is it going to sail through there? Because you've got a lot of people in your party who don't like it.
Sail through on boats, perhaps?
Well,
Well, I mean, who stopped the boats?
Exactly. I mean, if we're going to go on the boats,
yeah.
Well, I think that, like every good Liberal politician respects democracy and the foundations of it, it's going to sail through because we understand how democracy works. We understand what the people think.
When were all the good Liberal members respecting democracy when they got rid of the democratically elected Prime Minister?
I'm sorry.
I'm
It sounded like Labor asking us about getting rid of a democratically elected Prime Minister.
Oh, well.
Well, at least they're consistent. They've done it twice. You've only done it once.
That's true. That's true.
You've got
We've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, get some consistency there, guys. No, but seriously, on the same-sex marriage, though, Labor's been supporting same-sex marriage for quite a while now.
Yes.
Why is that? Is that to try and differentiate yourself from the Liberals because otherwise you're so similar?
I think it's really to differentiate ourselves between the Greens because we're a real progressive party and they're not.
They're not progressive?
No. Well, Labor's not just going to create and make marriage equality a reality. It's going to be the first act of Parliament under a Labor government.
It's going to be the first act of Parliament under a Labor government.
Marriage equality will be the first, in the new Parliament, it'll be the first
But the first
active
thing
legislation.
you guys get done.
Yeah.
And but why is it so important to Bill Shorten to get same-sex marriage through? Because he didn't support it for quite a long time.
No, well, most Australians didn't support it for quite a long time, and I think it's
Not this guy. Sorry, please keep going.
Well, I think
I haven't said anything for a while.
Okay, well, we need to talk a little bit more about what we're going to talk about. Oh, this is what we're going to talk about, housing affordability. Now, Liberals, you guys are going to keep things as is. You're going to keep the negative gearing.
Yep.
And why are you going to keep negative gearing?
Well, I think the reason is that we want to be protecting people who use it, and the facts are 2/3 of Australians who earn $2/3 of Australians who earn under $80,000 a year, like teachers, nurses, use negatively geared negatively geared houses for their own benefits. We've got to protect those sort of people. Also, if we get rid of negative gearing, we're going to crash the whole housing market. We don't want another crash to the economy. We want to keep it stable, and if we keep it under the Liberal government, it's going to keep stable rather than just trashing it like Labor will.
But how are young people going to get into the housing market? Because right now they can't. Do you suggest that they start selling meth? That's probably the best way to earn money at this point, isn't it?
I think your choice, Michael, is between houses that everyone wants but no one can afford, good, or houses that everyone can get but no one wants. And I think that's a more terrible system.
Like mud huts, igloos.
Do you think that's a more terrible system?
To be honest, I wasn't listening.
Okay, well, something else that we have to talk about tonight is asylum seekers, which has already been touched on a little bit. Now, Barnaby Joyce claimed that asylum seekers coming to Australia from Indonesia was linked to live animal export.
Yes, well, in the Liberal Party, we like to just sort of put Barnaby Joyce aside, but he's not one of us per se. But
he is the deputy PM.
But he's a national. He's a national. He was
the Prime Minister for like a weekend.
Yes, and it's a scary option. We don't like to talk about it, but he is.
But he's in your party.
He's in the coalition.
Yep.
He's in the coalition.
He's in the
so
coalition.
we have to respect what he says.
Yeah, I guess.
But I think there are a lot of issues. we do, yeah. We've got a form of government here. But I think there are a lot of issues with both policies in the Labor and Liberal governments, or in terms of the immigration policy, that need to be fixed. And I think it's such a complex issue that both Timothy and I probably can agree on that there are some issues that both sides need to fix. Yeah.
So you don't agree with your party's policy?
I don't think Shaun or I necessarily agree with all of our party's policies, but we both agree that it is extremely complicated. No, seriously, it's an extremely complicated area that seriously affects people's lives, and it's something that it's going to take a very, very long time to properly figure out.
Okay. Something else that we have to talk about is youth employment. Now, the Liberals, you've created a PATH program, prepare, trial, hire. You threw in an A so that it rolls off the tongue, but the A doesn't really stand for anything, much like many of your politicians. But the program... I felt like I hadn't said a zinger for a while.
It's just too real.
Just seriously though, Robert, this program allows for people on Centrelink to earn $4 an hour, which is not a lot of money. Yes. Wouldn't slavery have been cheaper?
I think so.
You'll have to ask Richard Di Natale about that one.
Oh yeah, because of his au pair.
Yeah, the two of them. Yeah.
No one knows about that. Anyway, but what do you think of that policy? Is that going to just kind of like allow for young people to be exploited who want to get into the market?
Well, I think youth unemployment is an issue. It's almost impossible to fix. I mean, you can't just almost give people jobs. I think the PATH program they put together is, although it has some issues, it is giving people an incentive to work, giving people options, giving young people the opportunity to build their skills. And I feel like it's more important they build those skills early on rather than getting that pay packet, that they'll get further down the line. It's more about those skills, and I think that's what the PATH offers for young people.
We've got to wrap this up. People are going to go to vote tomorrow, or most people will. What is your final message to people to get them over the line?
If you ever want to afford a house, if you don't want Tony Abbott to be a minister within 6 months, if you believe that marriage equality should be a reality for all Australians, vote Labor.
Well said.
Shaun?
Well, I think for me it's simple. I've said it before. If you want no debt, if you want affordability for your kids, if you want for future generations to actually live a fulfilling life, you vote Liberal. You don't vote Labor. You don't want more debt and more chaos like we've seen previously.
And more kids. You don't want that. No? No? Okay.
A vote for Liberal is a vote for no children. Please, thanks very much to Shaun Bourke for joining us tonight and Timothy Webber.
Beautiful.